You know what I mean?
Good. She is very good at what she's decided to do. If you're going to be a whore, and most women watching this, and most men, hello, your wife, yeah, her, they're all whores anyway. If you're going to be a whore, no disrespect, you may as well be fucking good at it. Get a media empire, get rich, let everyone know your name, and get paid. Why are you going out to the pub, getting drunk, and meeting a man who's funny, and getting fucked in a toilet for free? Are you dumb?
They are, though. Women are stupid.
They're stupid. So Bonnie's just the smartest. She's the Wall Street banker of this whole shit. I respect that much more than these other girls. Rob, I grew up in Luton.
Dustin says, I want to be what she sits down on. You would do it, Dustin. That doesn't surprise me at all. It doesn't surprise me at all.
England, bruv. You think I don't know hoes? You think I haven't seen it? You think I haven't walked in the toilet and some bitch has got 5 dudes hanging out of her? This is the Western world. This is feminism. This is what all you white boys wanted. All you white men listening to women all the time, women get to opinions all of a sudden. This is what you built. Congratulations.
So you blame men?
Well, 100% I blame men, because everything's men's fault, because men are the only ones who can apply force to scenario. Women can't apply force. Men apply force. If there's something we don't like, we apply force to the situation. We could force this away. We could force most things away. So everything's absolutely men's fault. And this came from, I mean, the feminism and the women's sexualization and the liberation, a lot of it came from beta males hoping to get some pussy. That's what it came from. Bunch of weak men, though. If we told girls to be hoes, I might get a little bit. Because the natural order of the universe is the big gorilla, top G, smart. I'm so fucking smart. The big gorilla, top G, has a bunch of women, and then the small gorilla has nothing. This is the natural order of the universe. It's actually kind of still like that in many ways. There's a guy with the yacht with 10 wives, and then there's a guy with no yacht with no wife. It's kind of like that. But beta males didn't like that because they couldn't obviously compete with the top guy. So they've tried to push this sexual liberation, hoping to get a little bit of pussy, and it probably works a little bit. But society's destroyed by extension. If you want to look at society for what it is, because what is society anything other than rearing and raising children? That's what society should be, I would argue. Society should be, the primary function of it should be, let's have kids so that we have a population. We have a population collapse in the West.
Yeah, I think they should have a choice. I before used to think, oh my God, I really want kids, I want a family. But it's because I was so naive to what else was open to the world. I just thought, okay, I need to get married. I need to, have children. I need to get a good job. And that was what I thought life was. And then I was like, fuck, there's so much more to life rather than just staying in that, finishing school, going to uni, getting married, buying a house. And you just copy everyone else. Like half the shit we do is.
So again, there's a part of me that admires her to some degree. Not because I envy what she does for a living, but there's something about people that live their life on their own terms, unapologetically, and society cannot influence them, that I don't want to say inspiring when talking about this woman, but that's the word I'm thinking of. That I admire that part, you could say. I knew you guys, I started reading the comments. I knew you guys weren't going to get what I'm saying. Like MGTOW, yeah, MGTOW's another one where they said, oh, this society's not going to shame me into getting married. I'm not going to explain myself. I'm doing what I'm doing and I'm walking away. Gabe says she's virtue signaling. Well, I don't think she's signaling virtue at all. She's called herself a whore the whole time.
Because someone else has done it.
Okay, Bonnie, so let me ask you a question. I agree with you that now that we've opened up female horizons with education, with jobs, with the capability of making money.
They say psychopaths live on their own terms. Not necessarily. I think I've been doing some thinking lately. There's just so much stuff that everyone says you have to do. And it's just like, why? For what? I was in a space recently with this guy that got banned off of Twitter, and everyone was saying I should talk to him. So I went and said hi. Stefan or something. And I said, He said he got famous because he said that people don't have to have relationships with their parents if their parents are toxic. And it was really controversial at the time. But it's like, if you have a toxic relative, why do you have to take care of them? For why? For what? It's a form of manipulation to see how much they can control you. Says there's a homeless guy in the woods doing his own thing. Yeah, why not? If he's happy being homeless, who cares? Don't celebrate the hoe. Well, I can admire a part of her character while obviously disagreeing. I just don't have time to be morally outraged. And it's great. You know what I mean? I could make more money maybe if I did more of it. And at one point, I did a lot of it, and I really felt like that. But I'm tired, guys. I'm exhausted. And I know what you're probably thinking is, as a streamer, how can you say that? Or as a YouTuber? Okay, you guys are probably more exhausted. But there was just a point where I had done shows for like a year and done these debates. And there was a point where I was talking to a woman about an abortion she had, and I just saw how little she cared. I don't have time to worry, and there was just a point where I had to think to myself, people have a right to live in hell. And sometimes people have to do the wrong thing to get to a point where they learn. And that's part of life. Like, I believe that, so my dad, I didn't really have controlling parents. Like, there were some parents that were super helicopter, and that wasn't my parents. And I asked my parents, I was like, why didn't you guys be more helicopter or whatever? And they said, because if you don't make your own decisions and face the consequences for your decisions, you're never going to know how to make a decision in your life. Now, the challenge we have today is that they don't allow people to have the consequences for their own decisions. But I think a lot of tradcons want to take away people's right to make mistakes and do the wrong thing. Now, I understand if it's hurt somebody else. I don't think murder should be legal, for example. But at some point, it just becomes like a domineering mother and almost neuroticism, where you can't control people and you have to allow them the right to fuck up their life if they so want to,
With Instagram and all these offers they get to fly around the world and all these things, women don't want to have kids, or they want to have kids later because they have a lot more options. I agree with you. But would you argue, if you were to look at it selflessly, not about the ant, but about the ant farm at large, that keeping women's horizons more narrow so they focused on rearing children would be better for society than the current society we're in, where we have to import a whole bunch of fuck knows who's into the country to try and maintain a population because the white people aren't even having any fucking kids because the white women are too busy sucking dicks in Magaloo?
Did you understand that?
To a certain degree, but I also couldn't give a shit. The world's going to shit anyway. So whether or not we've got more kids in it or not, it's fucked regardless. So just live your life the best. You're going to be dead in however many years anyway.
Fair.
So don't stress too much.
Fair. And this is why
I like that mindset. Because, you know what? I have always... There are some decisions of things I did where I regret, right? But I think the pain of not doing something because of fear is worse than the pain of making a mistake. And I'd say when I look back on my life, like, for example, getting demonetized, I kind of got a big ego and I thought that I just couldn't be stopped. And the pain of getting like demonetized and kicked off all these platforms, I would say was not as bad as the pain I would have felt if I didn't push it to the limit, so to speak. Now there's things I could have done to like be smarter about it, but the way she's looking at